Good afternoon and welcome to the 7th Legislative Update from the Wyoming Farm Bureau for the 2015 session. I'm Dominique Giroux.
Hi, I'm Brett Moline. In the next week we will have some deadlines coming up. Today is the last day for a bill to be reported out of a committee, and Monday it has to be off committee of the whole, Tuesday second reading, and Wednesday will have to be done with third reading. Typically in every session this kills several bills, but we won't know until next week how the bills are faring. Most of the bills that Farm Bureau's been following have been going along. They're a little slow, but we think we've got a good chance of getting them through. Two bills I want to visit with you today deal with trespassing. House Bill 108 deals with landowner liability to trespassers. This bill, as it is now, would just put into statutes what our case law is. There has been some attempted amendments to broaden out the liability, but these amendments were defeated. So as the bill stands right now, we strongly support this bill. It has one more reading to go, which will probably be on Monday, so hopefully we can get this bill through. With no changes in the Senate, it will just go on to be signed by the President of the Senate and the Speaker of the House, and then we'll go to the Governor. We feel pretty good how we're sitting with that bill. Another bill with trespassing we have a little more concerns with, Senate File 12 that we visited with you about before, would prohibit governmental agencies being able to use data that was collected while people were trespassing. Constitutional problems have been brought forward. We think we have those fixed, but with the changes from the Senate and the House, we have to go to concurrence, and we'll see if we can get those differences worked out. We're hopeful that we can, but we won't know until next week just exactly where we stand. Another bill that has passed through the House and the Senate is Senate File 30, which gives the military department some money to be able to manage their lands. For an example, over at Camp Guernsey, they have about 60,000 acres of land that they lease out to ranchers. Because of 2 years ago not getting an appropriation from the legislature, they've had to delay some of their improvements that they've essentially told the leasees that they were going to do. This bill has gone through both houses, but because of amendments it has to go to a concurrence committee, and they did not vote on concurrence, so now it has to go to a conference committee. But we feel hopeful that we can at least get something through so the military department will have some money to do some range improvements with. With that, I'll turn it over to Dom.
Thanks, Brett. I'm just going to quickly go over some bills we've been following and that we've previously discussed in our videos. The first one is Senate File 43 dealing with the Telecommunications Act. The bill made it through the House unamended and is now an enrolled act, so it is just awaiting the governor's signature. House Bill 56, dealing with the Wyoming Food Freedom Act. This bill would allow producers to sell food directly to an end consumer without inspection. Meat products must be processed by a custom meat processor. The House concurred with the Senate amendments, and this bill will now go on to the governor as well. Upon the governor's signature, this bill will take effect immediately. Most bills don't go into effect until July 1st. So members that are selling food made in a kitchen that is uninspected need to make sure that their liability is included and covered by their insurance before selling food products. So you might want to call and check in with your insurance agent and just make sure that this is covered in your insurance policy. Lastly, Joint House Bill 3, dealing with free roaming wild horses. This resolution requests Congress, state, and local authorities take action to remediate damage done by wild horses. Farm Bureau is in support of this resolution. The resolution passed the House on February 4th after a number of amendments, one of which was to delete wild and replace it with feral. The bill passed the Senate, and the House concurred with the Senate changes. This bill is an enrolled act. Next week, we're going to be taking a break from our usual update, and Brett will be interviewing Steve Harshman, Chair of the House Appropriations Committee. And then the week after that, we'll be here to update you on what bills have been signed by the governor. Thanks for watching this week. Have a good weekend.